Hi there, welcome to a series of videos called English for Emerson. This channel is all about learning some basic English reading and writing. But you know what? The channel has expanded. And I tell you what, it's turned into comedy and a whole lot of boring lectures. I seem to have this need to go off on these boring lectures about life. And I can just imagine Emerson, he's probably thinking to himself, oh my gosh, Pappy, what in the world is going on? What's with all the lectures? But you know, there's nobody here to talk back to me. So I just start to go and go and go, and pretty soon, I don't know. It's getting out of hand with these lectures, but I got another one today. So here it goes. Here it goes. You need a pen. You need something to write on. Lined paper. On this channel, you know, for all my millions of students out there, you need to keep in mind that we make capital letters that take up the space between three lines. Here's a capital Y. We go from the top line through the middle line down to the bottom line. This keeps our letters sized just perfect. And you'll notice that my lines are pretty sloppy. I'm sure yours are nice and straight on your paper, and that's a good thing. I kind of like things sloppy. I don't know why. I always have. This is a wonderful saying today. It starts with a U. Y-O-U. Y-O-U. I got to try to keep my letters a little bit small because I got a lot to write today. This saying is going to be, you can lead a horse to water. That's how it's going to start. You can, C-A-N for can. Everything's going to be kind of scrunched together today. So this is two separate words. You can lead. Lead is L-E-A-D. You can lead. Notice that the E sound is made with an E-A. We know on this channel that the E sound can be made with a heck of a lot of combinations of letters. It can be made with E-E, E-I, I-E, E-Y, E-A, and more, and more. I don't know why in English they didn't make it standardized so that you always made the E sound with one combination of letters. Let's just say every E sound would be made with an E-E. I don't know why. But they made it very, 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 very complicated how to make an E sound. It's all over the place. I don't know, there might be 10 different combinations of letters that make E sounds. Might be. I can't even keep up with it. And it's just one of those things about English that's frustrating, is there's so many different ways to make an E sound, it's not even funny. It's frustrating. I get frustrated just even talking about it. You can lead A. Finally, at least there's one simple thing in English, and that's you can make an A with the letter A. Good night. You can lead a horse. Horse is H-O-R-S-E. Now, I would think in almost all of my lessons, we go on and on and on and on and on about the silent E. Right here. What does that word spell? It spells horse. It does not spell horsey. No, it spells horse. This E is silent. How do I know that E at the end of the word is going to be silent? Because we say it in every lesson almost. The E at the end of the word is always silent if there's another vowel in the word before it. Can you see the vowel in horse that comes before the E? I can. It's the O. The vowels in English are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Therefore, that E is going to be silent. Another vowel comes before it. You can lead a horse to water. W-A-T-E-R. You can lead a horse to water, comma. You can hear, there's a pause now. You can lead a horse to water, comma. A comma is a little slash through the bottom line. I'm going to put the word up here right there, comma. You can lead a horse to water. Yeah, you can. When I was a kid, we had a bunch of horses. And you can put a thing on its head called a halter. It's like a thing that you can grab a hold of. Well, it's like basically like a collar, but it goes over their nose and it goes over their neck. It's got kind of a two-part collar. Then you put a lead rope on the halter. You attach a rope to the halter and you lead the horse. You can lead a horse to water, comma. But is B-U-T. But you can't. We got another U. We've had a heck of a lot of U's in this series of lessons, I've noticed. A lot of U's. But you can't. C-A-N''T. We know about this. C-A-N''T. The apostrophe, I'll put it right up here, is an important thing. It shortens up two words and makes it one. Instead of saying you cannot, we shorten it up to can't. It's just how people talk. Most people would not say, but you cannot make it drink. They wouldn't say that. They would say, but you can't make it drink. We just tend to be lazy and shorten up our words. The apostrophe kicks out, pow! The N-O, the O, and that's right. It kicks out the N-O of not. Makes it can't. Okay? But you can't. I got to go down in here to no man's land, down on the bottom. It's hard for me to write down here. But I got to do it. I've run out of room. Going down into the cave down here. M-A-K-E. That is make. Does that spell makey? No. It does not spell makey. That spells make. The E at the end of the word is silent. Why? Because it's another vowel and that word before it spells make. You can't make it drink. Drink is D. 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 Can you hear the D? Drink. Drink. Now think about the next letter. I want you to try to spell this word. Drink. 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 It almost spells like J, doesn't it? Drink. Drink. But it's D-R. Drink. Can you hear that? When you say, I want to drink some water, it sounds like a J, doesn't it? But in fact, it's a D-R together. Drink. It's an interesting word. I want to drink some water. It sounds like a G or a J, but it's actually a D-R. Weird. English. Weird language. D-R. Drink. Drink. That's a hard letter to figure. That's a hard word to figure out. Drink. because it sounds to me like it starts with a G or a J. But it doesn't. It starts with a DR. There it is. We finally got all done with this. And now it's time. This is the part of the lesson where everybody gets so excited that they probably shut off the video. They probably shut it off. Well, we got it done. We're not going to listen to this nincompoop. But you better, because I got my lecture coming up. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. This is called folk wisdom. I'm going to put that up here. Folk wisdom. Please listen to me. It's so important. I think it is. Don't shut off the video if you haven't already. Listen to my lecture. Please, someone listen to me. This is folk wisdom from the old times. Who in the world in today's world is getting a chance to go out and catch horses and try to get them to drink water? Almost nobody. Maybe less than 1% of the population. Probably less than that. Maybe 1 out of 10,000 people in their day. Maybe even less than that is out there trying to lead horses around and get them to drink water. When I was a kid, though, we did have horses, and I can tell you that this is true. You might catch a horse, think, oh, I'm going to take that thing and try to get it to drink some water. Take it over to the water, we call it a trough, a water tank. You know, the horse might just come right there and just look at it and not drink the water, even though you'd think it would be thirsty. They're funny. Horses have personalities just like people. What does this mean? This is from the old times. This is from people from the back in the day when you didn't have a car. There were no cars. You had horses and wagons. That was it. That's how you got places, with horses and wagons. And people figured out after dealing with horses for thousands of years that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And this became part of our language in English. What does it mean? It means you can't force things. I'll put that up here. You can't force things. You can try. You can try to force a horse to drink, but you just can't do it. So you might hear this saying, in fact, you probably will. If you get frustrated about something, you're trying to get something done, you're trying to get somebody to do something, not a horse, anything in life. If you're just trying to get a deal made, you're trying to buy a house, you're trying to get a girlfriend, trying to buy a car, trying to get a job, trying to hire somebody to work at your business, anything. You'll hear this. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. What's it mean? It means you just can't force things in life. Life is like the horse. You can't force life, is what this saying is trying to teach you. From the old wisdom of all of our ancestors who lived out on the farm for thousands of years, just learning about the flow of life. Without all the technology, without all the phones, all that crap. Just day-to-day simple life. They learned some very, very important wisdom. And this is one of the most important things they learned. That they're teaching us through our language. Language teaches us. It's teaching us that you can't force things. If something's not easily flowing, of course it's important to be persistent. But you can't force it. Sometimes doors just don't open in life. And you just have to move forward and accept it. Sometimes you lead a horse to water that seems like it would be thirsty, but it just won't drink. You have to let it go. You have to let it go. Everybody is independent. Everybody's independent. People make their own decisions. That's part of life. If you try to force things, things go bad. Things go bad. You'll see throughout history. You'll see throughout history. Then I'm going to be done. People who use force to try to get their way and try to make other people do things their way, it always ends up being a disaster. Always. Every single time. Every single time. And life is trying to teach us. It's trying to teach us, and people have a very, very hard time learning this. You have to respect. Everybody has a right to do things their own way. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. Everybody's free to do things do things their own way. The horse decides whether or not it wants to drink. And there's nothing you can do about it. Well, that's how it is with everybody. Everybody decides what they're really going to do. You can really try to force things, but I'm telling you, there is no point fighting with a horse. And there's no point fighting with anybody else when you get right down to it. Everybody ultimately makes their own decisions. You can't force it. It's better in life to just go with the flow most of the time. Okay? Great wisdom from the old times, because I'm telling you, out on the farm, this is so true. Once you've had some horses, I tell you what, you learn a lot from dealing with horses about life. And this is one of those things right here. You just can't force it. Okay, see you next time on English for Emerson. Good lesson. Bye-bye.